Yo, what's up, everyone? It's your boy Connor from The World Divide, a channel that is about as inactive as ever. Yeah, so I haven't posted a video in a while. I haven't had a focus for the entirety of this goddamn thing's existence. And, kind of the general premise I had for this channel was that by talking about geopolitics and talking about international relations, events, things in an unbiased, kind of apolitical fashion, would start bringing up conversations and debates that would help people break down the barriers between them and bring the world together. Hence the name The World Divide. Talking about the world, talking about the divisions. But I realized I can't go seriously in depth into a lot of these subjects because going in depth to some of these really hard topics like war and looking at the death, the destruction, the toll, it doesn't just have a toll on the people experiencing them, it has a toll on me. Because looking at this shit all the time, well, it's really taxing. It's really fucking awful. And while I do find it fascinating and interesting to research and go in depth into this stuff, at the same time, I feel just heartless and empty and depressed looking at it. So I don't want the channel to be focused on that. I want the channel, I'm gonna set my phone up here. I want to reorientate the focus of this channel to stop talking about, or not completely stop, but basically shed light on international events and things that I think people should know about. Talking about gender inequality, divisions, how we've kind of all been manipulated into sort of these different narratives depending on where you fall in the political space, where you fall regionally in the country, where you fall ethnically, all these different things. We've all been kind of pulled, tossed, and turned, and led to believe certain things. And we create our own self-delusions, including myself, that I always try to break down. And the only way to break those delusions, those self-delusions down, is to have conversations with people, is to talk to people with different viewpoints, and to think honestly and critically about yourself in a way that challenges your own narratives and beliefs. So I do want to incorporate those few aspects into the channel, and I want to talk about those things. But I'm also personally someone who is struggling with mental health, and my perceptions on many very deep, uncomfortable topics, such as like mania, sex, social isolation, things like that. Those are things that kind of hit me home very personally. And I've struggled with these things in many different forms, in many different kind of toxic responses to these scenarios and situations. And I want to turn this channel into something that focuses on my personal journey in self-discipline and how I progress and how much I can grow by focusing on trying to eliminate some of these bad habits, some of these things that are keeping me down. One of them is being on my phone so much, and that's something I struggle with profusely. Some other things were like cannabis use and alcohol were, not being used to like kind of a social extent, but were addictions, were something that I couldn't even completely detach from. I would detach from alcohol in exchange for using cannabis, and it's affected my life in a lot of negative ways. I saw both of these things as kind of I saw cannabis as kind of completely harmless. And I saw alcohol as definitely harmful, but something I can minimize. Cannabis isn't completely harmless. It is something, an industry I really want to get into. Same with mixology and craft cocktails. But I recognize that we all need a level of self control and a level of balance with these things to live happy and healthy lives. And I can't find that balance, so I'm quitting. I will sample alcohol, I will sample cannabis for my career, for my work. I want to understand the taste profiles, I want to understand how it exactly works. But I need to go cold turkey, and that's what I've been doing for the past 4 days so far. God forgive, I can just keep going. Another thing I've been doing is meditating a lot more. Try to improve my mental focus and my ability to think critically and clearly and concisely about things. Certain delusions I have when it comes to sexuality and women drive me into kind of this really angry, manic state, and it turns me into a person that I don't want to be. So focusing on meditation and thinking critically about why these feelings are arising and how I can solve them on my own behalf are certain things that I try to do, as well as increasing the frequency of my exercise, which right now is being limited on the money that I have because I can't eat. I can't eat as much as I would like to. I can't turn to a fully carnivorous diet because of the price of, beef and other meats. Though I would very much like to be on an all carnivorous diet and exercise practically every single day. I did some weightlifting yesterday. I was doing some punch combos and I elbowed my kettlebell and completely lost feeling in this arm for like an hour or so. So I had to stop freaking weightlifting early on. And, today I'll probably go into it a lot more if I can. I'm working till 9 o'clock. I'm still working quite a lot. I'm stuck kind of spinning my wheels right now with some of my other career choices. Cannabis license is still in kind of a temporary suspension. I have the temporary license, but not the finished complete one. There's certain questions and documents that I keep trying to send through, but that aren't really being received or are incorrect for some reason, and I need to negotiate that. But yeah, I'm gonna try to make this channel a bit more personal. I'm gonna try to make this channel focused on if you're in a place where you're struggling, if you feel like there's no one there, you can't get the help that you need, you can't do the things that you need to do to help yourself, that you can. You have to fight, you have to try, you have to self-improve. And while some of the things you may be experiencing may be a consequence of outside exterior factors, what you do about it is personally up to you, and it's your responsibility to try to deal with these things and find a way to solve them, rather than adopting sort of a victim mindset or adopting it's not my fault, this is terrible, this is bad, all of this. That type of mindset only prevents you from excelling and continuing on your journey. And yeah, I think that's kind of where I'm going to take this channel. I did an Instagram post yesterday of kind of showing off like where I was, and I'm not really proud of where I am physically. I know that I'm certainly a lot healthier than a lot of people physically, but at the same time, I see no value of where I am, and I also self-harm and self-criticize my own body. So the physical discipline, the meditation, the martial arts as well is kind of a way to help me try to reconnect with my spirituality, my body, and make my mind healthier. You know, I want to eventually be, you know, jacked and in very good shape. And I think it's our job to try to recognize our deficiencies and self-improve, and to try to reduce the self-harm that we cause ourselves for those deficiencies, which is something that I'm still working very hard at. And you know, I don't know if I see myself as a role model for people. I would certainly like to get to that place, and I'm certainly trying very hard. And if I don't try very hard, I feel like I've failed for the day. I go to bed, you know, with my eyes open, completely awake, thinking, and just sitting there and being like, what the fuck did I do? I just sat around all day. I was on my ass. I was on my phone. I didn't read. I didn't learn anything. I didn't tire myself out. I didn't physically strive to do something better. Or I didn't catch my interest in something that I could have learned more about. Or I didn't have the conversations that I should have had that may have given me certain insights and certain values and certain perspectives that I would have never stumbled upon myself, just thinking upon my own perspective. So I want to bring these challenges to a very personal level, and then talk about it from the ground up. Talk about it from me, talk about it from my local kind of circle, and talk about it kind of in application to your life, to your social circle, and working our way up. So I will be talking about the personal things. I will be talking about the societal things. I will be talking about international things. Every little building block that is essential for our personal lives, for us to be happy, for us to be successful, and to break many of the delusions and things that have kept us from being happy, that have kept us from being who we want to be. I know I struggle with it. I know most of you out there struggle with it. So let's go on this journey together on the World Divide. More content, I have no idea when. I'm just gonna see where this goes. You'll see me on hikes. You'll see me doing bold, different things. I'm gonna keep, you know, this will be more of a vlog-like channel. You know, probably pretty clickbaity, who knows? All I know is I want this to be a way to help people. I want this to be a safe information space where we can, you know, stop just berating each other, instead have discussions. We can tell each other clear and concisely what exactly we need to improve about ourselves. You know, I need to gain more weight. I need to exercise more. I need to work on my fucked up mental health. I need to work on my sexuality. I need to do all these things. I recognize that. I'm flawed. I'm inherently flawed. But you have to recognize what's wrong with you to ever fix them. And that's something that everyone's struggling with now, is kind of that accountability, that responsibility that we all need to continue. So those are some of the few things I'll be talking about in the World Divide. Who knows where this goes from here, but that's what I want to lay out for you guys, and probably more content coming soon. So with that being said, guys, I will see you in the next video. Bye-bye.